Welcome everyone to the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. I'm your host, Michael Pickering. That's right, Lo-Fi's and low fidelity, low quality, in your face, messy as can be global news show. Here we're going to talk about that famous question, what's going on in the world today? It's Tuesday, Lo-Fi Nation, and you know what that means. It's time for Tuesday's Top 10 list. Every Tuesday from now on, we'll be looking at global indicators and surveys to see what countries hold the top 10 rankings in particular categories. We'll cover things like GDP, GDP per capita, HDI, Gini, largest populations, largest countries by size, happiest countries, and more. And if you're unsure what some of those things mean, no worries, we'll cover what each one of them mean before we jump into the list. Today's Top 10 list, H.D.I. 2019, the United Nations Human Development Index. But what is H.D.I., you may ask? Well, let's find out together. The following is taken from the United Nations Human Development Index website for a description and definition of what exactly H.D.I. really is. The H.D.I. was created to emphasize that people and their capabilities should be the ultimate criteria for assessing the development of a country, not economic growth alone. The H.D.I. can be used to question national policy choices, asking how two countries with the same level of GNI per capita can end up with different human development outcomes. The health dimension is assessed by life expectancy at birth. The education dimension is measured by mean of years of schooling for adults aged 25 years and expected years of schooling for children of school entering age. The standard of living dimension is measured by gross national income per capita. So in short, Lo-Fi Nation, H.D.I. is made up of a country's level of education, their life expectancy, and their income. Now let's see, out of 189 countries and territories across the globe in 2019, who has the best H.D.I. scores? And starting off our list at number 10 is Denmark. Number 9, the Netherlands. Number 8, Singapore. Number 7, Sweden. And tied at number 6 is Iceland and Australia. Now to our top 4 countries. At number 4 is Germany. Number 3, Ireland. Number 2, Switzerland. And coming in at number 1 on the Human Development Index is Norway. Congratulations to Norway for having the highest HDI at a 0.954, being composed of a life expectancy of 82.3 years, an expected years of schooling at 18.1, mean years of schooling at 12.6, and a gross national income per capita with purchasing power parity of $68,000 a year. Whew! If it weren't so cold, I might move there. But what is this all about? This Human Development Index. Why should we care? And that is our question of the day. Why should we care about HDI scores? Pretty simple. The world is still developing as a planet. We are still developing as a people. Not everyone across the globe is doing fine and dandy. In fact, many are struggling. Out of about 200 countries in the world, somewhere around 120 of them are still developing. The majority of the world live in developing countries. Traditionally, people just look at GDP to tell if a country is developed or not. But more and more, we see countries with high GDPs. Some of them have huge portions of their population still in poverty, still struggling. You see, Lo-Fi Nation, looking at a single indicator of development cannot tell you how a country and its people are really doing. HDI, the Human Development Index, is trying to make us move past the old ways of just using economics to see how a country is doing. Trying to make us move past the idea that a single indicator can give us the what's going on the ground in a country. HDI looks at education because you need one to succeed, even if only a basic high school education. It still gives you choices in your career. HDI looks at life expectancy because, generally speaking, it's a sign of access to good health care, which takes time and money to obtain. And it looks at income per capita because it's concerned with the possible distribution of a country's wealth, not just how much money the country has. In short, we use HDI because it's a far superior variable to tell us what's really going on in the world today. But as with all variables of development, it should be used over time to see changes and trends, and it should be used with other variables as well to paint a fuller picture of whatever country you wish to know more about. And that's this Tuesday's Top 10 list. Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Please write in with your questions, comments, or requests of countries for our news segments or top 10 global lists you want to see to lofipolisci at planetmail.com. That's Lofi, L-O-F-I, Poli, P-O-L-I, Sci, S-C-I, at planetmail.com. Let me say thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, wash those hands, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. Pickering, signing off.